like the first rule you can say in the startup is like bringing all the like-minded people together. Like if you don't have that, one day your startup will lose all the people and there is no point. If you run one query in ChatGPT, that is very costly for ChatGPT. So like to overcome that cost and to overcome that, like the latency, when I say latency, like response to the time, so to reduce that, quantum is introduced.
What is the major difference between traditional RAG and agentic RAG?
So traditional was mainly the single agents or multiple agents, but without rules, you can say. But now, like when we have rules, now we are giving more context to the agents by like adding tools, and now we, because we have protocols also, like MCP, if you have heard.
Before past 3 years, AI has came into our society. Huh? Now it's became our future. And what do you think about quantum computer? Will it take place of AI?
Okay, so AI and quantum is something that will go hand in hand because AI needs computation and quantum brings computation. So if you say that AI will fade away in future, that is not going to happen in any soon, because AI is something that is like, you can't say now future, it's present. So AI is present thing, and quantum is something that every company is working, because they are seeing that too many people are using AI and AI needs computation. When I say computation, it means like GPUs, if you like heard about GPUs, TPUs, so all these things are computation and resources. So even if you run one query in ChatGPT, that is very costly for ChatGPT. So like to overcome that cost and to overcome that, like the latency, when I say latency, like response to the time, so to reduce that, quantum is introduced, like to do the complex mathematics, this computations and all these things. So for that, quantum is introduced, and quantum is not a new concept, it's like the 2-3 decades old concept, but in future it will go hand in hand, but like AI will never fade away. Yeah.
Okay, ma'am. And again a question. Like it's not only for me, like every students, we are freshers. Like we want to start a startup. But nowadays ticks are going so fast. So can you say a method how to start startup? Like which way we want to focus? It will be
Okay.
useful for every students.
Okay, so because like I also had a startup at like in my fourth year, and it always look fascinating at the first, but like when you start going and pitching your things, then you get to know, okay, like there's a whole lot of like new world there in the startup. And when you say startup, like in the college, if you are very good with like tech, and if you are like can collect a team who has like everything, like finance guy and like the techie person and the marketing people, and like all set of people are there, then definitely go for a startup in your college itself. And if you are like not able to make it in the college, even if you are like looking after like college when you are doing the job, then also like the first rule you can say in the startup is like bringing all the like-minded people together. Like if you don't have that, one day your startup will lose all the people and there is no point. So first is like bring right people together, bring the right idea together. People will throw money on you if the team is right. Even if the idea is not great, but your team is right, people will give money to you. So that's the rule.
Will focusing on quantum computer is good thing or bad? Upcoming future. Like
As of now, you as a fresher, I don't think that you should start learning about quantum computing. First thing is like if you are going with the quantum computing, you need to be very perfect with maths, statistics, probability, and all sort of like computation things. You need to have a like very good, very like strong hands on like your hardware, your network, and all these concepts, operating system, how these things work. So if you have that, like a good hand on that, definitely go for it. So the basic is like get a grasp of good things.
okay, ma'am. Thanks.
What common mistakes do you see in teams making decisions during RAG implementation, like poor chunking or skipping re-ranking? and how do you avoid them in production at IBM?
So we always come across like hit and trial methods and everything.
Yes.
We always go with like, okay, let's go with like the basic chunking, that is fixed chunking or the semantic chunking and all things. But it always depends on the use case. Like if your use case is something like which has only hundreds of documents, then you can definitely go for like recursive chunking or like any like very basic chunking. But if you're like uh the volume of the documents are like huge, definitely go with like advanced level chunking. Similarly for the embedding models, do not need to stick with only one model. You can have like multiple models so that like multiple indices you can create. So this is like the basic thing that any like we were like whenever we are working on the rack, we have this basic checklist. Okay, this we are using, this we are using, but how to deal with things then like we are getting messed up. So there always think about what outcome we want. Either is like we want like accuracy the best, we want the latency to be improved, or we want both. So depending on that, talk to your team, work best like what is being done, and always use like caching and all load balancers and all these things to like make it quick and get it done.
Uh, what simple steps do you follow to set up a basic rack pipeline?
So we have a like simple checklist. The rack components, when we say that first is like data source, loading the data, what type of data you have. Either it is like PDF or like code, like Java applications or something like that. Then it's like chunking, embedding, retrieval, all sort of things. Yeah, all sort of things. So these are like basic components you can say that we have. So always make it as a checklist. Do it like in a way that if it is a simple rack, just go with a basic rack pipeline. If it is an advanced rack, go with like query rewriting and query expansion and all sort of components. So depending on like how much volume of data you are dealing with, you go with that checklist.
Ma'am, recently I get to know about table rack. Can you share example where table rack is being used efficiently in industry?
Yeah, so if you say example of finance where they have balance sheets and all, so instead of like putting that document as it is to the like vector DB, you say bring that thing to a table format, store that into the SQL, because SQL calling a SQL is faster as compared to like having RAG, like going and retrieve from the vector DB. So that is like the costly and not the most effective one. So that's why like foundations comes in, that you know SQL, you know like how fast it is, and you can clearly skip that road of like going to the complex path, and you can just go into the simple path that okay, I have a table, I'll just push it to SQL and then I'll call it to SQL. So this is the simple.
A quick question: what is the major difference between traditional rack and agentic rack?
So traditional was mainly the single agents or multiple agents, but without tools, you can say. But now, like when we have tools, now we are giving more context to the agents by like adding tools. And now we, because we have protocols also like MCP, if you have heard MCP and A2A. So now you're giving like more sophisticated path that okay, we know how to connect the tools, we know how to connect multi agents all together. So when you have like all the things like it's, you can think like for you when you started your team, so you have one guy who is like you have two people and you don't know okay like how these things work, so you three are for co-founders. But when you know okay like what is my task and what exactly I want these two people to do, they are not your co-founders, then they are your employees. So there's a clear difference like when you know, then that is a when traditional agent thing. When you don't know, then that is a traditional things. When you know how to deal with the agent, how to give the context, how to give the tools, how to make it them communicate, then that's the advanced, you can say, agentic.